today's video, I've got the other half of the F1 debate show presenter duo. It's Lyle. Cheers for coming on, Lyle.
Yeah, cheers, Raz. Thank you for having us, mate.
Do you want to, for those of you who don't know who you are, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my name's Lyle. I'm the other half of the F1 debate show. Raz did an episode with my co-host a few episodes ago, but obviously I'm the best one on our channel, the funniest, knows about F1. And we've been friends with Raz basically since he started his channel. I think he was our first guest. It's been obviously great to see your progress as well, growing with our channel as well. And just really looking forward to this chat, Raz. And obviously again, thanks for having us on.
No problem, mate. I'm actually looking forward to this one as well because, as you said, it's the first. It's sort of, for me, it's sort of closes the circuit sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because we sort of started, I can remember us doing one when Jordan couldn't be there, and then you had to cut me in to the episode.
Yeah.
So first of all, how are you? How is Corona been treating you? Everything all right?
Yeah, it's not too bad, mate. Yeah, cheers. I mean, obviously, it's just great to get Formula One back. Thankfully, we have a bit more idea of, obviously how the season's going to play out. A few more races being added. Germany's been added. Now we're doing 3 races in Italy. So it's going to be a good F1 season now, compared to a few months ago when obviously all this was just not on. I've been fine, obviously, doing these F1 debate show episodes, not really knowing when F1's going to return. Back working now again, so coronavirus hasn't affected that much, but I have to come home from uni and things like that. So it's really annoying, but hopefully things get back to normal. So yeah, I mean, obviously, how have you been in all this lockdown?
I mean, for me, obviously I can't, obviously I couldn't train for a while, and because I'm in a wheelchair, I need to train, because my back hurts, my muscles going, but in terms of YouTube, actually bring it back to YouTube, it's been awesome.
That's good to hear.
Because, obviously, because it's opened so many more doors, right? Because with everybody having to social distance, people are getting more used to the whole Skype and the whole Zoom and whatever else video conferencing software says. So it's actually opened a lot more doors, and I just can't believe that. Like, I started this channel 4 years ago, and never expected to have be talking to the likes of Matt Gallagher or even Natalie Pinkham.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I'm having a chat with Buxton.
Yeah. That's really good. And obviously, just before we start, I mean, obviously, as you were saying there about getting the guests on, it's been absolutely incredible. I mean, your Natalie Pinkham video, definitely one of my favorites that you've done on your channel. I mean, she's a great presenter. I think it's been incredible. It really has been. You've finally been given the opportunity. People, celebrities have finally seen how good you are, really, and you're getting this appreciation, which it's very long overdue. 4 years has been. You've worked hard on YouTube, and you might think it's some of the people have got there earlier and things like that, but you finally got the recognition that you deserve, and to get Will Buxton on. Obviously, this is the episode before that. I can't wait to watch that one. That's just. I'm so happy for you to get Will Buxton on. He shared your channel, I think it was about a year ago now, on Twitter, and ever since then we've been saying, it would be incredible for you to get him on, and look at you now. You're going to get him on. It's absolutely incredible.
And can I just say this? I mean, every single one of them that I get on, and I mean, I don't, I don't want to come across as like, I'm only doing this for getting celebrities on. I love anybody that I can chat to about Formula One, but I never expected a a format that was never planned to kick off the way it has. You know, I mean, like I never expected it, and to have like celebrities, to have them actually direct messaging me or direct Skyping me or whatever is just unreal, So I'm sort of still feeling a bit sort of I don't know how to explain it, but I still have to pinch myself to actually say think like this is actually real.
Yeah, but you've deserved it though, Raz. You've deserved it. All your hard works, come about. You've tweeted these celebrities. You've shown that you're fans of them, and on their part, it's just absolutely amazing to see that they have kind of given you the time of day they want to be on your channel. People like Natalie Pinkham and the guys from WTF1. They wanted to be on your channel. They wanted to speak to you, and it's honestly it's incredible. It really really is. And obviously now you're friends with them, and I mean the amount of doors it'll open is incredible.
I mean, as I said, and I'm coming back to the point, like that I said earlier, I can't travel that well. Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's no reason why. I mean, I'm not. There's nothing confirmed. Yeah, nothing confirmed. But so don't get too excited. Um, but I'm not. You know, if I was to get the chance to go onto Sky, for example, I wouldn't have to physically be there. Because because of Corona, a
Yeah.
lot, all this video conferencing has sort of kicked off.
Mhm.
And when you think about it, I mean, when you look at the races, I mean, Karun Chandok and Anthony Davidson, I mean, they're down in London, while while Crofty and the while Crofty and the rest of the crew is down in wherever they are,
Yeah.
So, and it's sort of seamless. So that's what I mean by open. It has open doors.
Yeah.
But you know, coming back to your journey, like, because what made you first of all wanting to do a YouTube channel?
Well, I mean, obviously, I started with my friend John, who you've spoken to before. I mean, we had like different smaller kind of channels on YouTube. Don't really want to get into that. It's nothing exciting. But yeah, no, we just like obviously we've been friends for a long time. We'd been to Grand Prix before. Well, only one at that point before we started this. And then yeah, it was just a similar idea he told us. I remember he told us actually on the way to a football match. And then yeah, and then it just grew from that. We sat down on Skype. It just started out as a video call, and then grew and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we just love talking about Formula One, and obviously in that way, I think not much has changed. We just sit down and talk about F1. Of course, yeah, I think we might have got more comfortable in front of the camera and things like that, but not much has actually changed. It's just the same as when we sat down and like the very first time and we just talked about Formula One, and just that was it really. We love to just talk, and there'd be many times we'd be just like we'd be watching a race on our own, and I'd be watching a race on my own at home, and I just want to talk about Formula One to somebody, but there'd be no one to who would be bothered. I think John was the only one that was really bothered, and obviously vice versa. So we just decided to join this made a channel, and it was like kind of whoever wants to listen, would come along, and obviously it's got bigger from that, and thankfully people just enjoy being us. But I wouldn't say anything's, been different. It's exactly the same as when it first came about, getting on YouTube and talking about Formula One.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember watching your very first video, and
Yeah.
like it was a Skype call, and it was just that background of the some bridge or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was a time bridge in Newcastle. It was Jordan's screensaver. And I remember like we were so bad at that point. We were bad. I mean, we knew Formula One. That was really the only thing going for us. But we were bad. We were embarrassed. Like that video you were seeing. I had my little kind of Skype name. What you rang us on Skype, and it was in the corner. And I told Jordan to make it as small as you can because I was a bit embarrassed about being on YouTube, because this video, I mean, at first it was going out on Facebook, but even then that was like too much, exposure for me. So I was like, hide it because I don't want you knowing that. And I remember the first episode we had on actual cameras was episode 6, I think it was. I did it at home, just sitting on my bed, and someone came in my room, and honestly, like, well, firstly, now I wouldn't be really embarrassed, like worse things have happened on the show. But back then, and I didn't have the editing software as well to like cut it out, and I was just so embarrassed because I was like, "This is going out on YouTube. I don't want to, I don't want to be on. I want to be on YouTube because obviously, if I didn't, I wouldn't have done this. But in the same time, I didn't, want anyone to know I was, and that was the same with him as well. And I think it probably took about a year before we kind of got more comfortable with, doing this, and what I mean. But back then, it was like, oh, and obviously, as you're saying, I mean, that first episode is like insanely embarrassing. Just how we started. It was like it's not the way we wanted to go on, but we had no idea about YouTube or anything like that at that point.
I mean, for me, I can sort of relate to it because I started it as therapy to start with.
Yeah.
Because I had labyrinthitis at the time, and then somebody said to me, because I was in Essex at the time,
Yeah.
and I was getting a taxi, and somebody said, "You go, we don't take drunk people, yeah." And I wasn't drunk, but that sort of stuck with me, and I didn't speak for 3 weeks after that.
Mhm.
I literally didn't speak for 3 weeks. So when I came back to Stafford, the doctor said, I didn't even speak to my doctor about it, right? Because I was so nervous, like that I wasn't gonna make sense. And
Yeah.
anyway, so the doctor said to me, Raz, we need to get you speaking again. Get yourself a camera, put yourself in front of it, and talk about Formula One.
Yeah.
And then I thought, screw this. I'm gonna might as well put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the first how it started.
Yeah.
And now, I didn't have any of the equipment. I didn't have any of the equipment. I didn't have any editing software. I was using the built-in editing software that you can have on the laptop. But then I actually gradually bought some, and then I got more into it and watched other people's YouTube, and then I figured, the green screen and all that doesn't really matter if the sound is crap sort of thing, and so it was, and then I actually got in touch with Tomo from Tomo F1.
Yeah.
And I said, can you recommend any good sort of microphone? And he recommended me one, and then because of Corona, everything was cheap. And then I decided, well, I might as well get a decent microphone, and then I got some headphones, and then I finally got sort of image editing software as well, so I can do the thumbnails a bit better, and sort of that how it kicked off. That's sort of how it kicked off. So but you had a bit of a break, didn't you, in between? What was all that about? Because I was worried that you was gonna quit.
I know. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound good. now. And firstly, we say that like the best thing about us was to come back. So yeah, we started again for the 2018 season, or like the year of 2018. We had a good 2017, but like we always say it's kind of like a weird season because we progressed loads, but back then we didn't have many subscribers. But now when we look back, we're like, at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. We were on like double digits. I think we'd broken it at like 100, 200, something like that. But the progress we made, one video every week was incredible. And it was good. It was, and obviously we went to Monza as well, which was great. And that was really, really good. But then we got into 2018, and yeah, we started putting more effort into videos, and we had so much more ideas, and we made 2 or 3 videos, and they just weren't going anywhere. It wasn't about subscribers, but the fan interaction. We didn't have any fan interaction. We had a bit in 2017, but we didn't have any in that year. Just the likes, the likes weren't good, the dislikes weren't good. We had no. I think that was the main thing. We had no comments, and obviously Jordan was at work. I was at uni. It was really hyping up for me, and we just busy. And we couldn't do this forever, and we didn't quit. But I think on that last Skype session we had, we kind of said, well, again, mainly him. He was obviously doing more work at work, and he had to stay behind. And obviously I had to do more uni work, and it wasn't fun for us anymore. We'd lost the love, and doing something that you don't love, unfortunately, it doesn't work. So we did take a break for a bit. He obviously focused more on work, I focused more on uni. But for my side, my uni was finished in April. I had nothing to do since then. I got a job with this like camping company where I went to Silverstone. I worked in the 2018. I did the 2018 British Grand Prix. I went to the race as well for free. So it was, and again, I think that was when I was like, well, if I had this channel, I wouldn't, vlog or anything like that because I was at work. But it would have just been so good. I remember I was on the bus back from Northampton, and I was just thinking, I just wish I could talk to someone about this experience. There's nobody to tell. I mean, again, obviously, I met Jordan in Newcastle and on night out and things like that. And I told him about it, but there was no one to talk to about this experience I'd been on. I'd worked there. I'd met Eddie Jordan. I had been to the race. It was just an incredible experience, and no one would know about it. And again, he was missing it as well. And I remember I can tell you that now. Honestly, I love like remembering these kind of things. It was England, Tunisia, or England, Turkey. I've got that wrong. I think it was England Turkey actually. It was the first group game of the 2018 World Cup. We were in this bar in Newcastle, me and Jordan, and honestly, like together, we just kind of had this idea. We're like, we need to bring this back. We've been talking about F1 for so much. We have been talking about the channel. Obviously, we've been keeping up to date with like you and other channels on YouTube, and kind of missing it. And then we just thought, right, we've got to bring this back. So again, it was another football game. So he got these Donington Park museum tickets. So me and him went down to Donington Park about end of August. We went to the Newcastle Tottenham game at St James's Park earlier on that day, and then we were driving back down, and we had this idea. We were like, right, this is when we're going to bring. We're going to do this episode at this. We're going to do it when we get to the hotel. And then, yeah, that was our first. It was episode 84. We talked about Daniel Ricciardo because he just left Red Bull, which again, got us talking about it because we were like, well, it's Red Bull. I'm a Red Bull fan. Danny Rick's a hot topic. Going to Renault, which was like why is he doing that? Especially because in 2018 Renault were a pretty bad engine for Red Bull. It was just after the Hungarian Grand Prix when Max had retired. So you were thinking like, well, why had Danny done that? And I think that's just like again, we wanted to talk about that. So when we got to the hotel, we were like, right, let's do this tonight. We're going to also vlog the Donington Park Museum, and then we'll be back. And then that was like the second part of our channel. But as I was saying there, it's like that was the best thing for us to do. When we ended like that, it was a little bit like Michael Schumacher's career in that way. I mean, not to say that we won 7 World Championships, but obviously, like when he retired in 2006, it was like,
it felt incomplete, didn't it?
Yeah, people were like scratching their heads in 2006, going, why is he retired? He's got so much left. He's he's obviously 7-time world champion. He's got so much left with Ferrari. He's a good driver, and we were like, he needs to come back. He needs to make a return. Came back in 20, then retired again in 2012, and then it was like I get that, and I see us as kind of like that 2010 return of Michael Schumacher, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, to walk away was bad. But I think when we did, it was like kind of we were losing love for this. But obviously, when we came back, we had like more love than ever, and obviously we've never stopped. Even to this day.
I mean, it's very moving to see, like, because as I said, I mean, and I said it in so many episodes before as well, because like, I mean, I've done loads of collaborations with other YouTubers before, but I mean, you and Jordan will always be like, you will always have a special place in my heart, only because you gave me sort of, we were both sort of green,
Yeah,
so to speak, and like at the time I was still stuttering a bit, I was still a bit nervous, but
yeah,
you gave me sort of the break and sort of and for me, I'm really glad that you're back
hmm
now. And but how has it been for you? Because obviously I've been struggling for, like, I mean, not that not the subscribers on everything. I do it for the love,
yeah.
yeah. But how is it for you when you sort of came to the when you was growing and growing? Because for me, yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah, that's when I did the when I started doing the since I've been doing the Unplanned Chat
Yeah.
episodes. I mean, I'm getting like 30 odd um subscribers a day now, and I'm sort of, how was it for you?
Well, I mean, well, firstly, Raz, obviously, when you get to 1,000, whenever that is, hopefully very soon, but whenever you get to 1,000, no one can say that you haven't worked. Nobody deserves it as much as you. You've been here for 4 years. Putting in consistent videos. You've done more videos than us. As I say, when we took our break, you put the throttle down, and it will be fully deserved. And again, like when you mentioned there about the unplanned F1 chat, you found your purpose on YouTube. You are interviewing these celebrities. You're no, not just celebrities. You're interviewing everyone. In this series. That's you. Your image is this, and on YouTube, this is an amazing platform for you to take off on. And as I say, you fully deserve when you get to 1,000. You fully deserve when you do. Obviously, when we set up on YouTube, we weren't doing it for the subscribers really. As I say, as I mentioned there about 2017, I think we literally were making videos every week. We went to Monza, and even when we went to Monza, we were probably on about 200 subscribers. And I don't want to sound like I don't want to say anything bad, for anyone who's on less or anything like that, but it's not loads. But we weren't ever saying that. We were always, I think me and Jordan, I think we were happy about having 200 subscribers. We were saying we're going to Monza, we're making good content, we're making daily F1 debate show videos or weekly even. Making other series as well, obviously some that didn't fly. We did this we did the series called Bailey Harrison. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah,
I don't. If you haven't, don't. You
I
know. Um,
have.
you've watched it, have you?
Yeah,
Oh my god, it was pretty. I mean, it's gameplay video. It's like we took a punt, but just done a funny story about that. We did the Spain one, and I just moved into my new uni accommodation, and I was so frightened of like talking loudly. I was like whispering everything. Oh, it was so bad. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so 2017, not many subscribers. Again, 2018, but obviously, as I just said there, we took a break. When we returned, we were gaining subscribers, but then 2019 was like our main takeoff. We started doing we started doing race reviews, which we didn't do in 2018. We started covering breaking news videos. We started doing, I mean, there's not really like a trick to YouTube, but not every video will do well. It's just kind of like what the audience wants, what YouTube wants. So we would do a video, me and Jordan, where we would think that's it's not gonna do very well. We think it's good. Not every video we've done is good, but we think it's not gonna do very well. It'll do really well. But on the opposite side of it, we'll think a video will do really well, and it won't do really well. I remember we hit because I worked away. I went to Spain and Monaco for those races, and I came back and I did the Canadian Grand Prix review on the night, which was the race where Sebastian Vettel cuts over the grass,
Oh
goes into
yeah.
Lewis, gets a 5 second penalty. It was hot news. And I did the race review of that. It got over 10,000 views, and we were like, this was, I think, to me, that was massive. Like, that was massive. I'd never had a video over 10K. We hadn't had a video close to that. It was incredible. And then, Jordan does a few reviews. They're like, one, I think it's Austria, gets over 20,000. And, we start getting loads more. We set a goal for Silverstone at 500. We smashed that. And it's just, honestly, it was great. How much we grew. The night of when we hit over 1,000, I'll never forget that. I'll tell you what I was watching. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Have you seen that Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron in? I was
Yes.
watching that. Yeah, I was watching that. I just come in from a night out with like a meal with my parents at a restaurant, sitting downstairs, and we got a shout out from Aldas, who really tipped us over 1,000. And like, it's just, I mean, we were never in it for the subscribers, but to see that number, to see it go from 999 to 1K or 1,000, it was like nothing else. And I think, I don't know, just that moment is absolutely incredible. We loved that, and I think that's when we like, this is incredible. This moment is amazing. But obviously, we never did it for the subscribers. We never did it to get monetized or anything like that. It was just amazing when it came, and we saw that it was kind of hopefully an acknowledgement of like kind of the hard work that we've done over the years. And it was just absolutely incredible. But the best thing about it though is, as I've just mentioned with Aldas there, is just getting to meet other YouTubers. We met him in Silverstone, which was like, so we'd never met another YouTuber before. Actually, no, that's a lie. We met Tiam and Marduk earlier on that day, but obviously we've never worked with him. But we've worked with Aldas before, and me and John, we were heading out to get food, just before like after the Porsche race on the Sunday, and we saw Aldas in like kind of the car park area, like where like the vintage cars are kind of parked at
Yeah.
Silverstone. And I don't know, it was Aldas. It was incredible, and we went up to him and we were like, obviously, we're big fans of your channel. And then he was like, "Oh yeah," it's like, "Yeah, I'm fans of your channel." I turned to Jordan, I was like, "Really? Like, are you really? Have you really even watched us?" And then he went, "Oh, can I get a photo as well on my phone?" And he got a photo and then mentioned us on one of his videos, and I'm like, he actually watches us. I think just to get that kind of acknowledgement that another YouTuber actually watches our videos was incredible. It's a little bit like Will, as you mentioned there, Will Buxton. He follows you now on Twitter, and obviously gave you that shout out. All to think that Will Buxton has watched or most likely watched one of your videos, and obviously will definitely watch his own video when it comes out, is like absolutely incredible. And again, like with us, a few days ago, we got watched by Lando Norris on his Twitch. And obviously that followed weird mixed reviews. I don't know if you kind of heard about that, but there was like controversial opinions and things like that, dislikes, likes. But
That
Lando watched one of our videos, and like that's something you will never be able to take away from that. That Lando watched one of our videos, and absolutely incredible. But going back to what you said originally there about the growing, I think I think it's just like obviously firstly for us, we got better software. We grew as people. My F1 opinion changed. When we started this, I think it was more about like kind of people pleasing. So, for example, like if you said, what do you think about basically all 20 drivers on the grid? And I would say, yeah, Lewis Hamilton, he's good. Max Verstappen, he's good. Sebastian Vettel, he's good. All the way down to Nicholas Latifi, oh, he's amazing. Because I wouldn't want to upset anybody. But now I've kind of, changed into to have to actually say what I think. Like, so for example, Lance Stroll, which actually, that was our first video together, as we talk about Lance Stroll and the money. And I think back then, like, so when Lance, obviously 2017 Lance came in, money, I'd have probably said, Lance Stroll deserves to be there, and he does. Obviously, we've discussed that, but I would never mention the money. And then it turned into this person who actually would say, well, Lance Stroll, yeah, his dad bought his, his dad paid for his seat at Williams. Then his dad bought the team at Force India, then became Racing Point, going in Aston Martin. Yes, he is in the consortium. He's now the chairman. I'd have kind of come out with my actual opinion of it. So there was that. That was the progression. There was also the working with other YouTubers, as you mentioned there. We've also worked with Tomo and Josh Revell and people like that. And I don't know, just like the exposure that we've had. We are our channel.
But you know what the problem is?
Yeah, go on then.
We've only ever worked separately together, us three.
Oh yes, yeah, we have, yeah, definitely.
So we need to change that at some point. But coming back to like I give you my take on it, right? Because I mean, obviously, when I first started doing YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I got really excited about, I mean, I never got to work with, I never got to do episode with Aldous, but the only time I actually got to work with Aldous was on Mike F1 Fanatics quiz, and
the never-ending quiz, the 10-hour quiz. I mean, come on, we were sitting there for like 10 hours. I mean, it was good, but come on.
But it was like, but what I'm saying is like, what, for me, right? I mean, this unplanned chat, this unplanned F1 chat was never meant to kick off the way it has. Yeah, it's there's no plan. Yeah, I literally didn't give you any plan. And what surprised me was when Matt Gallagher from WTF1 said, I messaged him on the off chance, thinking, could you even think about being on my channel? Yeah. And he said, like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Same thing with Josh Revell. Yeah. And then I sort of tweeted. Then I saw, then I sort of tweeted my tweet a couple of names on Twitter. Just recently, like I got a whole list, yeah, and then like Natalie Pinkham responded, Lisa Hardy responded, Will Buxton responded, and it's just unreal, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
And they said to me, what you're doing is actually really good, yeah. I mean, I don't know whether you've seen it on Twitter, but John T from John T's Corner,
yeah,
he commented on one of my videos saying TV material, get him on Sky F1, and people actually, the thing is, people, I mean, that would be absolutely amazing if that happened, yeah. But for me, I've been watching Formula One for like 30 odd years, and it's always been my dream to sort of talk to a journalist type person about Formula One, and now that it's happening like really quick and really high, really high profile people as well, it's just unreal.
Yeah.
So what I want to know from you is what's the most surreal experience that you've ever had since doing YouTube?
On YouTube, I mean, it it probably some of the interviews, some of the the debate that we've had have been incredible with some people. My best moment, I would say, is when we got to interview British Formula 3 driver Ayrton Simmons. We again, like very much like you, we messaged him, and just the way that he responds, you don't, these people are just, they're just normal people at the end of the day, but they're so high profile and you look up to them so much. When they respond, it makes, it makes your day, it makes everything amazing. And we were like, we were talking about how we were going to discuss it to him. We were a bit nervous at the end of the day because this is a high profile actual, driver. And it was just such a down to earth conversation. As soon as we clicked on Skype, very much like we did today, we just click on Skype and there he was, just a normal kind of, guy, just had a chat, and and that's been with everyone that we've talked with. Again, like I think some, not just to single out him, but just other people that we've spoken to. Obviously, Tom Wood being a very special one, Josh Ravel, and also as well to work with younger channels like you and Mike from F1 Fanatics. Again, we were one of his first, people that he collaborated with literally about a month into, when he started on YouTube. And again, those kind of things are like really, really, touching and really big achievements. But
Yeah.
but if I had to single out one, I'd probably say, yeah, when I spoke to Ayrton Simmons. What about you? What's your biggest achievement on YouTube?
I think you can guess that one, can't you?
Yes, I can, but I don't know. You've got a few good names. Do you want to single anyone out, or are you just going to say all your chat?
I must admit, yeah. I mean, like, talking to Matt was
Yeah,
obviously a very special one, uh, simply because he made it all. I mean, I don't care what he says. He's probably going to kill me for saying this, but every single one that I've had on since refers back to his video,
okay,
and he, a lot of people saying, like, when I asked him off camera what made you come, like what made you agree to, like, uh, do this with me,
yeah,
right? And they say, they either mention uh, Matt or Justice video, what I mean? Like, and I would, anybody that I'm doing collaboration with, I love doing collaborations, what I mean?
yeah,
Whether you're a Formula One celeb, or whether you're just a little small channel, what I mean? Like, or other YouTubers. I mean,
yeah,
I've had great support of Tomo as well.
yeah,
As I said, he's been helping me out. Mike's been helping me out doing some of the graphics. You've been helping me out. You know what I mean? And the for me, it's very touching. Like the coming togetherness.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't. I mean, we you know that I'm disabled. Yeah.
yeah.
But you don't give a nobody gives a monkeys
No,
whether
no,
whether I'm disabled or not.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And that in itself sort of gives me the confidence
yeah,
in everyday life.
yeah,
And even speaking to these big celebrities,
yeah,
it sort of helped me deal with daily life sort of thing, because, like, some, as I said before, I sometimes get people saying to me, "Oh, we can't understand you," because
yeah.
you're not speaking right, and I'm just thinking, rather than getting upset about it now, I can always think back of what I've already achieved.
Yeah. No, you've achieved a lot, Razan. You were saying there, I mean, I think everyone you've worked with, either on Twitter or, actually in the flesh on Skype, just sees you as an F1 fan. You give your opinions and you talk F1, and that's basically, that is you. That's all of us. And it doesn't matter about, as you say, your speech or anything like that. You are an F1 fan. And people that notice it, people that realize that, are the true fans that you work with. And you mentioned there about kind of the power of Twitter and things like that, the community. it is great because we all see you as obviously a great channel, but as just an F1 fan, you have your own perspective, of course, and we want to see you do well. And to the people who don't understand that and say things like about your speech or whatever, firstly they're just haters. You've got no place for them. Just ignore them. You don't need them. At the end of the day, just look back and think, if anyone has a go at you, just say, well, what I mean? I've interviewed, Natalie Pinkham. I've interviewed WTF1. What have you done? And the chances are there won't be. Because, we've had them on our channel, and you go on their channel and they've got one subscriber and normally they've got a profile picture of something stupid. And, look at what you've done. You've interviewed, big celebrities. So, never let anyone kind of hold you down or anything. You can do whatever you want. And yes, I've seen the hashtag get Raz and Sky. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But no one can ever stop you from trying. And again, from the power of Twitter, it could happen. People like it, people retweet it. I remember your Martin Brundle one. Obviously, unfortunately, the great man hasn't responded yet. But yes, he will. Yes, he will. Good, good thinking, Raz. That got going because people thought, I like it, I'll retweet it, I understand. And I'm like, that would be great to see Raz, through all of the setbacks he might have had, like you were saying about, the guy in Essex, on the phone and things like that, and people saying that, they couldn't understand you. Through all of this, that's just white noise. What matters is you are just an F1 fan. You're an F1 fan with a great channel, a great prospect, and your buddenness is to get on the Sky and to meet Martin Brundle. And that's what people see, and that's what's important. That's what gets you kind of the famous. That's what gets you famous on Twitter, and that's what people can actually see.
So, well, yeah, cheers for that, man. You're making me a bit tear up here, actually.
Oh no.
But coming back to that, what so far, what has been the best out of the unplanned Formula One chat? Which video has been the best?
Oh, mine, definitely. Mine, definitely. Whatever was it, number 14, I think it is. Mine is the best one.
Yeah, but like, what has been sort of, what was your first? I'm just asking because I'm genuinely interested.
Yeah.
What was your first reaction when you saw sort of the Met one coming on?
Yeah. I was just, it was a surprise to see him on. It really was, but I was really happy for you. As I said at the start, it's the hard work of trying to get people on, trying to get celebrities on. Somebody who we've met him. Well, I say we've met him. We saw him at Silverstone last year, and he did look like the kind of guy who would be nice enough. And he was. He's a he's a celebrity. He's somebody high profile, but somebody who you look up to. And he saw that, as I say, he saw that kind of like you look up to him moment, and instead of ignoring you or whatever, on Twitter, which sometimes people do, we've had that many times. He thought, do you know what? I'm going to speak to this guy, and it was just absolutely incredible. I mean, I think our views on him change because it just shows he's willing to give anyone the time of day. He's willing to give smaller YouTubers, F1 fans, time to speak.
Definitely.
It was absolutely incredible, and obviously it opened other doors. You ended up talking to the other guys from WTF1. You ended up talking to Natalie Pinkham, who that was incredible because she just saw that mass tweet and just responded. And again, such someone as like high profile as her for her to speak to you was absolutely incredible. I would say that one was my favorite. Just I don't know, just because.
Why?
I don't know, just like seeing her on camera, she just you could tell she just enjoyed speaking to you. I think that was the main thing. She just enjoyed being there. She was speaking to you outside. She was willing to have a sit down with you, talk F1.
Did I ask her all the right questions?
Oh, of course, yeah, definitely. And she was willing to talk. It shows Raz. She interviews the F1 drivers in the paddock. She interviews, famous people and stuff, and then she speaks to you, and I'm obviously sorry. I mean this in like the best way I can. You're not a Formula One driver. You're not in the paddock. You're not really anyone associated with Formula One or famous, but she is willing to speak to you, and that's absolutely incredible. That you actually can speak to Natalie and show other people that you can do that, but also that she is willing to speak to you. Honestly, it was absolutely incredible from her, and I think also it helps our opinions of her as well. It really really kind of promotes our views of Natalie. That
Yeah.
she is willing to appear on her channel, and when you do finally hit 1,000 and grow, and get famous and even get on Sky F1, she can say that she was on your channel. And like, just imagine, that's a massive thing to say,
But coming back, because did I tell you the story? What's behind it?
You
Because
don't, no, go on, you tell me.
because it was Johnsy, yeah,
Yeah,
from Sean's channel.
yeah,
He actually said because I thought she was fake.
okay.
I thought I thought it was a fake account or something.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
because and because normally I sort of normally you can't message them.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I sort of tweeted her and said, "Oh, how can we organize it? Because I can't message her." And all of a sudden, she unblocked. She unblocked me and sort of, and it's just so genuinely. I'm not making this up, mate. I've still got goosebumps. I still get goosebumps, and I still cry through happiness because of that. And when I spoke to Mark Priestley as well, I I could not have imagined it being kicking off as much as it has.
yeah.
Um, but you ended up working for F1, didn't you? Like with the at the British Grand Prix. So how did that come about?
Just applied really. I was at university, just needed a summer job. Liked Formula One, so yeah. I mean, it was really good. I did Silverstone, Belgium, and Italy in that year. Went to the races. I remember the first. I remember the first time I was kind of given the ticket on the Sunday because we were working there. We weren't supposed to go to the race, but there was just a rumor going around that like from the people who had worked there before, or he gives tickets away. Like if you're a Formula One fan, he will give you a ticket to go on the Sunday. One of the guys I knew went on the Saturday to qualifying, and I was like, I can see this coming. I can see us going. And we were sitting around the table about 1 o'clock before the race started. The red arrows had just flown over, having our meal deal, and then he just slides us a ticket, and I'm like, actually, I say, what's this? Like, I'm surprised, but I'm really not. And he's like, it's a ticket to the race. So I run up, like, it literally is a scene out of Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. That is it, with me ticket in my hand, waving, running up the hill, like shouting at the guys, on the gate, like, I've got a ticket, let me in. And I don't find a good spot. I stand like near Luffield, but it's kind of in the corner next to the
Yeah.
like the Marshall's box. But I just managed to go to the race. Spa and Monza as well. Spa was incredible. Stood at the Lecombe chicane. Obviously, the work was hard, man. Weeks before I was there about a week before. Setting up in the campsite, just a field. But it was incredibly fun. Even that was great. But the race was definitely the cherry on the top. It's absolutely incredible. I met Martin Brundle as well. Actually, the man who you're trying to interview. I met Martin Brundle on the Saturday. Again, it was like I know it's only a small thing, but I was on the gate, and my boss he came up because he knew Eddie Jordan and Martin Brundle and all that, and he drove to the Sky like the Sky compound in Belgium. And he drove back, and I remember I was sitting on the gate, and then I saw this beep, and these two guys waving, and one of them was Martin Brundle, and they stopped the car, and they said, and then he leaned over and went, "Oh, hi, Lyle," and then Martin Brundle just stood there waving, and he said hi as well, and I was like, I mean, I know it's only hi, but it is a massive thing that Martin Brundle said hi to me, and I was like, I've got a photo with Eddie Jordan, and I've met, and and Martin Brundle said hi to us, and those two things don't really fly. You know, they won't like get you in anywhere. But to me, that's like really, really, really big. You know, I met Jack Aiken at Silverstone last year. You know, I met obviously Tiamat Marduk, like Matt as well, as I said there. So you know, those things mean so much to you. But yeah, going back to the work at Silverstone, yeah, it was absolutely insane. You know, to go to the race. Obviously, I'd been there before, but yeah, to like be there, you know, part of Formula One, like I'd been working there, it was really, really incredible. And obviously, I went to Spain last year and Monaco as well. And obviously, Monaco, as you know, is just like the pinnacle. You know, I stood at Le Rocher, watching the cars go around the street circuit in the Principality. Is honestly, it was absolutely incredible. That.
Yeah, you know, because I mean, I can, you know, because you was on a high when Martin Brundle said hi to you. Can you imagine what it was like when I got to spend like 20 minutes with, or half an hour, it ended up being with Natalie Pinkham, and 45 minutes with Matt. Can you just begin to imagine how that sort
I
of.
can't. I can't. I couldn't, Raz. I couldn't. I mean, if I was you, I would be like sitting at my computer, you know, like kind of anxious, and I'd turn on the camera and then I just go, "Hi, Natalie," and then I don't know. It just you know what I mean? It's like these are just normal people at the end of the day. Like Martin Brundle just said hi to us, but it's Martin Brundle. And it's Natalie Pinkham. You know, this woman is skyping you to talk on your Unplanned F1 chat, but it's Natalie Pinkham, the same woman who works for Sky F1. She interviews, you know, God knows how many drivers, and like I don't know, I would be kind of tongue tied. I don't know how you made it through an episode. You know, I'd be tripping over words, and I'd just be no, I wouldn't know what to say.
How did I want the honest truth from you, right?
Uh-huh.
You've known me for a while. How
Yeah.
did I do? Could you tell that I was nervous?
Um. To be honest, no. Really, to be honest, no. You couldn't. I mean, no. I think your first one with Matt, maybe a little bit, but no. I think with Natalie, I think you were just as you know, like you were sure-footed. You knew what you were doing. No, I wouldn't say you were nervous at all. You kind of got into the groove of this, and yeah, I think again your confidence has grown, and this actually just not just goes back to this series, but like your whole channel. You know, again, your confidence has grown a lot. Now, very much like what I was just saying about me, you know, like kind of giving my opinions on things instead of being a people pleaser. You know, you give your opinions on things. You say controversial things. You know, and again, I've seen people in the comment section say, "I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. This is wrong." But again, it's your opinion, and it's like again, you're not afraid to do this. So your evolution on YouTube has been great in your evolution on YouTube and also in this series as well. As I say, you know, like with Natalie, it was perfect, and I can't imagine Will being any different. You know, you just Skype him next, you know, tomorrow or whatever, and then just be confident as ever, and then hopefully
Um,
get to speak to like Martin Brundle or something. You'll be, you know, you'll be even. You'll speak to Martin like you know he's an old friend down the pub.
see, see, the thing is, right? Everybody says to me, like, because I tweeted these people, that was the original people that I tweeted,
Yeah,
yeah. But that doesn't mean, like, if I can get Anthony Davidson on, you know, or anybody from Formula One, yeah,
yeah,
it would make my day as much as, you know, so
yeah,
it doesn't really matter, you know, it doesn't really matter who I get. I'm just amazed that they agreed to do this with me.
yeah,
And the other thing is, I mean, the weirdest thing is, because I get people on Twitter saying to me, "Oh, can you get Alex Woods on, or can you get Lewis Hamilton on?" You know,
yeah,
like, and I'm thinking, I would love to get these people on, yeah,
yeah,
but obviously I can't pay them on
yeah,
that, and so I can. I can try, but I need them to sort of be willing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I think, like in my opinion, Raz, I think in terms of when you say payment, I don't think anyone is ever in this game for this. So like, I don't think my opinion, I don't think anyone would ever say I'll Skype with you for this amount of money. I don't think that would ever go about. I think these people are just they want to speak to you.
Yeah,
They understand that they're famous, yes, but there's other people out there who want to be like them who aren't famous, and they're
yeah,
just kind of showing the love and showing that there isn't like such a divide between
yeah,
celebrity and us. And I know it's a cliche, like it's one of them old things you'd see on the movies, but like celebrities are just like us, and that's like really cheesy to say, but
no,
like and they're just like us. You know what I mean? So they're just
but
giving you
but
what they
like
want.
but like what I'm saying is, yeah, if people say to me, "Oh, can you get Lewis Hamilton on?" or
Yeah,
can you get? I would love to have him on, yeah,
yeah,
but I you know I I can't just make it happen. I can't just go to Mercedes and say, can I have half an hour with Lewis Hamilton? So
yeah.
I haven't got these big connections yet. Um, but that doesn't mean that I'm not trying.
Yeah. But you said there, Raj. Yet you don't have them yet. Yet means not yet, not now, but maybe later. So you might not know. You might not have like you know Formula One drivers in on speed dial, but you might do one day.
Um, but I mean, before we finish off, we've got a couple of quick questions for you left regarding this season. The first one being, what do you think about um, Fernando Alonso coming back?
Um, you know, the opinions of Fernando Alonso are divided. To be honest, I wasn't a massive fan of him when he was at McLaren the second time. I think, even though he's a two-time world champion, I think his reputation was kind of went downhill just from the way that he went on at McLaren. He didn't deal with that Honda engine well, and the the excuse that he gave on the radio. Um, on the flip side, though, I think it's good for Renault as a team to see Fernando coming back because they're not sitting very well. They've lost Nico Hulkenberg. They couldn't deliver. They couldn't give Nico what he wanted, and obviously I know that you're upset about that because you were a big Nico fan. They couldn't give Nico what he wanted, he needed, and I think that was a massive hit for Renault. Um, and I think it's good for the team because it's good exposure, very much like Robert Kubica was. Gets the media talking. A driver has a comeback. It's incredible. As I say, like Williams had so much. They had so much kind of media attention when Robert Kubica came back into the sport last year. I think it's good on their side, but on terms of Fernando's side, I'm not. I don't know. I haven't 100% maybe mind up yet. I think it would be good for the sport to see, but for his side, I don't really know what he can bring to the paddock. That's new. No, because that means he'll have been in Formula One for I think 20 years, 19 years. Yes, not 20 years it will have been. In 2001, 20 years he'll have been in Formula One in and out. And that is a long time. And from kind of the salty breadcrumbs he's left in the team that he's been at, McLaren Spygate, Renault Crashgate, things like that, and the controversial McLaren Honda. I'm not sure if it's maybe the best move for him, but for the sport and for Renault as a team, I think it is a good move. And I will be excited to see him back. And as I say, the exposure for Renault will be absolutely incredible. Just the amount of like Fernando Alonso merchandise they can sell. There'll even be a spike in like the old 2005 Telefonia kind of Fernando Alonso kit from when he was second time world champion. So I think it's good for the sport. I'm excited to see it.
So you think it's good for the sport? Yeah. I'm still sort of divided. I'm still sort of reserving judgment on it.
Yeah.
Second question is, what do you think about the whole Perez getting kicked out of um, Racing Point potentially to get Vettel in?
Well, Perez is one of the most underrated drivers in F1. Definitely deserves to be at a top team. He's contracted until 2023, so it'll be a massive shame for Racing Point to turn around and kind of obliterate his contract. Obviously, you've also got the opinion of should Sebastian Vettel stay in Formula One? He's been at Ferrari since 2015. Nothing's worked out. He's been in Formula One for over a decade now. Has his time run out? And also, Lance Stroll, he stays at Racing Point, which will turn into Aston Martin next year. Why is he at the team? Is it just because his dad owns the team? I think, and we've discussed that before, I think I would like to see a Perez Stroll. I wouldn't like to see Sebastian. My view on Sebastian is that he should retire. And I'd like to see Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll be at Racing Point, Aston Martin, sorry, for next year. Because I think they're a great partnership. Perez is a very strong driver. He's a great leader. He's a great leader in the team. He's beaten every single teammate he's had since he returned from McLaren, since he went to Force India from McLaren, he's beaten his teammates. He's beaten Nico Hülkenberg. He's beaten Esteban Ocon. He's beaten Lance Stroll. It just shows that he is such a strong driver. And yes, he's not going to go to Ferrari. Unfortunately, Carlos Sainz has kind of closed that door for a lot of people, like Giovinazzi and obviously Sergio Perez. The door's closed, unfortunately, for that move. And even Daniel Ricciardo, you could say. But so I think Perez is now his main focus and kind of his main team in Formula One should be Aston Martin. He will do well at that team. I think Lance Stroll should be given the chance. I think Perez Vettel would be a good lineup, but I think that they should retain Stroll, retain Perez, and obviously that would mean Sebastian Vettel wouldn't be signed to Aston Martin, and because of that, I would think that he would retire at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you did law. Did you do law at university?
Law, no, no.
Because I don't understand how it would work legally because they've only just signed a contract last year for 3 years, and I think it could get a bit messy.
Well, contracts are made to be broken. I mean, we had a manager called Alan Pardew who signed a 7-year contract at Newcastle, left after about a year, and it finally ended. And now? I think he's at Crystal Palace or something like that. And it's now ended. He's left his contract in Newcastle, but he broke that easily. So I mean, contracts are made to be broken. And I think if the 4-time world champion, one of the best, one of the most experienced drivers in Formula One, wanted to move to your team, you would move heaven and earth to make that happen. I just hope, but Sebastian Vettel's name is bigger than Perez's, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that as soon as Vettel says he wants to go to Aston Martin, they will make sure that he is at Aston Martin, and they'll move one of their drivers out. And we saw this in 2018. When Lance Stroll came to the team, so when Lawrence bought the team, became Racing Point, and one of those two drivers, Esteban Ocon and Sergio Perez, had to vacate the team for Lance Stroll. And it became a two-way fight between Ocon and Perez. And to be honest, both them drivers were really, really good. Perez was better than Ocon, but Ocon was still a good driver. And because in that instance, Ocon, made a few enemies, he crashed with Perez a few times after he crashed with Verstappen in Brazil. He was the one to leave for Stroll. And I don't want this to happen again. I don't want this to become a battle where Perez and Stroll basically battle it out to see who stays when Sebastian Vettel comes to the team. As I say, I'd rather just those two stay out the team because they're the best hope for the future. Like Formula One now is just about the youth drivers. We've got Max Verstappen, we've got Charles Leclerc, we've even got people like Carlos Sainz who are still young enough. Lando Norris, coming through the ranks. It's all about the youth now. You've got Lewis at the front, obviously, but he's only 35 still. He's not, he's not an old man. Sebastian Vettel, unfortunately, is not the answer. Again, it also kind of goes back to the Fernando Alonso. Yes, it's good to have these drivers in F1, but they are not the answer. They're not the answer. So Fernando's coming back, which is, as I say, good, but it's not amazing, and I'm not jumping for joy about it. To get Sebastian into a team, which would be, it wouldn't be a new team, it would just be a rebranded team, a bit like AlphaTauri this year. But to get him in is not the answer. They need to keep Lance Stroll in. He's only 21. He's got a long, long time left to be in Formula One. He could be world champion in the future. In 10 years' time, he could be world champion, and he's only 31. Sebastian Vettel could be world champion in 10 years' time, but he'd be, in his mid-40s, which ultimately is not going to happen. So they've got to think about the long term, and I think that they should keep Perez and Stroll.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And the final question for you: what do you make of all the pink Mercedes argument?
I mean, obviously, it's no surprise that Racing Point have taken inspiration from Mercedes. Obviously, there is classified things in there, like have they used the chassis, have they used components and things like that. And obviously, there has been protest put against it. Cyril People is known as the guy who puts in all the complaints. I think Ted Kravitz made a joke about it on the notebook and said, Cyril complaining again, complaining to people. It's just one of those things, but it's nice to see Racing Point battling at the front. And again, it goes back to my previous statement about Perez and Stroll. They finally have a car that they can battle, not just each other with, because we saw that in 2018 with Ocon, and that didn't work. They crashed all the time. We can see a car that they can battle the front runners with. They've battled the Red Bulls. They beat Alexander Albon. They beat both Ferraris. They even battled the Mercedes. And is it third and fourth in Hungary? And you think that's, I mean, okay, yeah, people might say it's a Mercedes one, two, three, four, but really it's a Mercedes 1-2 and a Racing Point 3-4. And I think it's amazing. And not just Racing Point, but everyone has bunched up in the field. Well, everyone but Williams and Ferrari. Williams, I mean, it's kind of, you'd think that's fair enough because they're back, they're obviously always going to be the team at the back. But Ferrari really steps down. But apart from those two teams, I think this season is one of the closest seasons we've ever seen. We've seen AlphaTauris, we've seen even Haas. Even Haas have really stepped up their game from Steinmark. We're seeing basically all nine of those 10 teams that I mentioned battling basically to win, and I think it's absolutely incredible. We are in an amazing season at the moment. But no, I think to have Racing Point is really good, and again, it just adds fire to the previous statement we were talking about, which is the Racing Points turning Aston Martin and Perez and Stroll and Vettel situation.
So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Any last thoughts, Lyle?
Well, I mean, no, just thanks for having us again, Raz. Obviously, you've got a great chat. You've got a great series here. I wish you nothing but success for the future. Obviously, if anyone's watching that hasn't already, go and give Raz a subscribe. Definitely, fully deserves it. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. If I do, I'll let you know. But I really don't think I know anyone that deserves it more than Raz does. He's put in so much hard work and effort, and as I say, you deserve the Will Buxton chat in the next episode. So obviously, can't wait for that to hit. Watch mine first before you watch Will's.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm happy that you're speaking to Will, and I can't wait to watch that episode. But obviously, thanks for having us on, Raz, as always. And cheers for having us.
Send us a picture of you for the thumbnail, by the way.
I'm sorry?
Send me a picture of you for the thumbnail.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll send that through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you haven't already, guys, do check out the F1 Debate Show. I really love these guys. They've been helping me out from the start, and as I said before, I mean, I love everyone that I collaborate with, but these guys have got a special place in my heart because we did the first episode together, the first collaboration, and I promise you that one day, pretty soon, I'm gonna make an appearance on with Jordan and Lyle together on their channel if we can get it organized.
definitely.
Maybe we can I can just crash one of your Saturdays once. But I think the people have been waiting for all three of us to team up. But once again, cheers for coming on, Lyle.
Cheers, Raz.
I'll speak to you soon, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Bye for now. Bye.
Bye, guys.